The #1 show in the world. The Bones Show.
Things are falling down in the studio.
Why is that doing that? Why did that fall?
Just another day on the front line, forced to apologize. Being who I am.
It's just the lights. It's your stupid Christmas lights. They fell.
You know where I come from.
Why do you have Christmas lights anyway? Christmas was like 4 months ago.
When you cyanide, something's now. Watch your step. Now I'm ready to.
Actually, Christmas was 3 months ago.
Maybe I'm a mess.
And I can have Christmas lights up in my studio. If I want Christmas lights up in my studio, it makes me feel festive and puts me in a good mood.
Will I take this lumpy faceless now?
Yeah, because you're always in such a really good mood.
Now my moment's here. I'm not the only
Can you imagine if I didn't have the Christmas lights? What kind of mood would I be in?
you now. Maybe I'm a soldier.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll fix them when the show's over. They just keep falling down. I think it's because of gravity.
Running high. Take your sticks.
Yeah, so you fix them when the show's over, Jimmy. But now let's kick the show off with a video.
So since we're on the subject of what I do for a living, I have to tell you about the customer that proposed to me at work.
All right, so she's a stripper, Jimmy.
It is very important. I meet this customer, let's call him Frank,
Yeah, she probably makes a lot of money because she's really hot.
and everything is really awesome. He starts buying me out twice a week, which is $600 in my pocket. That's $1,200 per week. And he wouldn't come in and
He's paying you $1,200 a week to dance for him. $1,200. Think about that. $1,200 a week.
until 10 o'clock. So I had from 5 to 10 to make all of this money on top of the $600 that I was getting off of him per night. I was raking it in.
$600. Jimmy, $600 a night. She's making off one guy.
It was great. It was a very professional relationship. I
Oh, yeah, it was.
never gave him my phone number.
Yeah, okay.
I never told him I was going to meet him outside
You put his wiener in your mouth.
of work, didn't give him my last name, and I definitely didn't tell him I was married at the time.
Oh, he didn't care.
About 3 months go by, things are good, but they start to get a little bit creepier because he owns a tow truck and he starts driving it to work and half-heartedly threatening to tow my car home so that I would have no choice but to follow him home.
I'm going to tow your car.
In this time, my ex-husband and I start breaking up. I move in with a couple of friends of mine. My friend's husband starts bringing me to work so that I wouldn't have a car to tow home. And on the nights that he wasn't supposed to show up, that he did, and I drove here, I drove looking in my rear view the entire time because I was starting to get a little bit creeped out. It was soon after that he got it into his head somehow that I was going to meet his parents for the holidays.
Mom, Dad, here's a stripper.
And I told him, Frank, I'm not that type of person. I am not meeting you outside of here.
Here's Cinnamon. She's my girlfriend.
And then one day he comes in and he says my last name. I was upset. I didn't know how he got that.
It's kind of like the TV show Dexter when this happened.
Hello, Dexter Morgan.
Yeah, it's like he said your last name. He said Cinnamon, your last name is Bun.
And then he tells me that he found out
Her name's not Cinnamon Bun.
that I was
Oh
married.
my God, if your last name is Bun, you have to name your kid Cinnamon. You have to. Even if it sounds like a stripper, you got to name your kid Cinnamon.
I explained to him that I'm going through a very messy divorce,
Or hair.
that I'm technically currently still married,
Or hamburger.
but we're broken up, which was the truth. And then he comes in with a ring. I told him no. Obviously, I'm going to tell him no. Frank runs out.
Obviously. He's giving you $1,200 a month. A week.
Yeah, she said a week, not a month.
Holy cow. You better take that ring.
Out of the room crying. I don't see him for about a month. He comes back.
Do tow truck drivers make that much money?
I guess.
Everything seems okay. He hands me the ring and says, I want you to have this. And I said, hey, if this is a proposal, it's not going to happen. But if this is a gift, I can wear it. I'll play the part. We'll have this little fantasy that we go through. And sure enough, he was fine with it. Every time he would come in, I'd put it on and be like, look, we're kind of married, thinking it was just a fantasy
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
that he was living out. Totally normal for this
Yeah, you play into it.
kind of industry. Now, during
The guy's going to tow your car. The guy knows your last name. Why are you playing this game?
She's playing this game for the money because she likes money.
Oh, I like money.
True, but this is dangerous money.
In this time, me and my ex-husband start to rekindle things, and we end up getting matching tattoos. It looks like crap, but it is an arrowhead. And Frank comes in and asks me, hey, what's with the new tattoo? So I give him the story minus my ex-husband, because there is a little bit of a story behind it. And he says to me, I should get that tattooed.
Oh, no. Well, he is your other husband.
And I looked him dead in the eye and said, please don't. 2 weeks later, Frank comes in with his wrist wrapped in cellophane. So I walk up to my boss, who is an ex-cop, and I say, keep him the away from me. I'm like, this is getting to a restraining order type deal. He's actually starting to scare me, and I want nothing to do with this man.
Well, you started the game. You played the game. You wore the ring.
So Frank is asked to leave, and he stays away for a few months. And I think everything's good, right? Well, after those few months are up, he comes back in and falls in love with another girl.
Now she's getting the $1,200 a month.
$1,200 a week?
God, I can't get over that. Wow.
And everything's fine. Me and Frank are pretending we don't exist to each other. One day, this girl walks up to me and says, Frank wants his ring back. And I said, he does. I walk up to my boss and I'm like, legally, do I have to give this back? And he says, not if you lost it. So I walk up to her and I said, I lost it. 2 years. 2 years goes by. I come back just to moonlight for a day, and guess who walks in the door?
Frank.
Frank walks through the door. I have no idea how he knew I was here. So I'm on stage.
Because he saw your car.
And I see him walk in, and I turn, and I give him the cold shoulder the entire time. I get back to the dressing room. My manager walks back, 2 shots in her hands, and says, he didn't touch them. I said, I don't want them. She walks out, says, she doesn't want them. Please leave her alone. And he walks out the door. That was 5 years ago that I saw him. Fast forward, he's given her 2 kids and married her. And now I think he's left her for another spicy woman. And that's the story about the man who's walking around with a arrowhead on his wrist.
That could have been you. See, you screwed that up. You could have married him. You could have had kids, and you could have gotten all the tow truck driver money. But no, you wanted to be a little bitch and say, no, hey, I'm a stripper. I'm a high-class stripper. I don't have to play those games. Well, you know what? She played those games, and you know what? She's got 2 kids, and she's got tow truck driver money.
Yeah, and she probably never has to work a day in her life and show her boobies ever again. But you gotta go to work every single day and flap your and shake your booty and show your boobies to make money. And she didn't have to because she married Frank.
Yeah, you could have been Miss Frank, but no, you're too good for that. Next.
So I just fucking clocked at Target. I don't know the last time I got clocked, let alone loudly.
What did she say, Jimmy?
She got clocked at Target.
What the hell does that mean?
You know what? At this one, I have no idea what that means.
Publicly clocked. So I'm just minding my business looking at some clothes, you know, like the cheap little Target clothes. And all of a sudden I hear this loud little squeaky teenage girl voice. And let me tell you one thing. If someone's going to clock you, it's going to be a little teenage
the hell's she talking about?
girl. Bitch, the insecurities run deep and I get it. Bitch, we're all there. Why did this girl yell, that's a boy? Loud. And you know what I did? I didn't look, I didn't react, I didn't act stunned because she can't be talking about me. She literally cannot be talking about me. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Here's the thing about that.
Well, are you a guy?
I did have me shaken up just a little bit because
I think you're a guy.
being clocked is one thing. Like, so
The hell does that mean?
when like telling that I'm
I think that means being called out for being a guy when you're a girl.
trans, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I am who I am, and period. I'm literally on TikTok displaying to millions of people my transition. Like, I actually don't care.
Oh, that is a dude.
But
Dude.
it's when you are publicly putting in me, but
Dude.
it's when you're publicly putting me in a very uncomfortable and low-key,
What up, dude?
sketchy, and dangerous situation
You're a guy.
and making
You have a wiener.
a spectacle of me that I'm like, okay,
And you wear makeup.
you need to fucking
Hey, you talk like a girl.
relax.
Hey, you have fingernails.
This is my life. And at that point, I had
Hey, you have a space in your teeth like Michael Strahan.
gotten everything that I
I bet you look like Michael Strahan when you were young.
was going to Target for. So I was like, so now I'm getting the out of here because I feel uncomfy. What?
And she said uncomfy.
Yeah, she's still a guy.
It's, why
always happen to me at Target. It's literally always at Target. Maybe it's because I'm at Target like 3 times a week. So I just
Oh my God. I hate him. Him makes me insane. Yeah, don't play him again. Next.
If you could have me for 24 hours and all I could say is yes, what would I be doing?
Mowing my lawn, cutting my fingernails, co-signing loans for me, deep cleaning the stove, getting senior discounts at all the places around us, all my laundry, cleaning my closets. You would paint the fence. You would sand the floor, wax the car. You'd basically be my Karate Kid. That's what you would do. Oh, I would make you stand outside in my front yard like a statue for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and then she couldn't move, and she would have to just stand there with like a rake in her hand, like, and she couldn't move at all. That would be fun.
Yeah, then we could go outside. We could throw things at her.
Yeah, and then squirrels could bite her and stuff. That would be cool.
Basically, you would be my Karate Kid. Yeah, I think that's good. Wash the car, wax the floors, paint the fence. Next.
It's been 5 months since I found out that my husband is gay and had been cheating on me. And, the same time he told me that, he told me he had set up a life or had a, home and everything.
Hey, by the way, I'm leaving you. Oh, hey, by the way, I'm gay. Oh,
And ready
by the way, I have my own house now. Oh,
to go with his partner and walked out the door. There've been a lot of up and downs, and I've posted a little bit here and there. And I wanted to track my progress or mind state, but sometimes it feels disingenuous because some days I'm really good and some days I'm really bad. And I just feel like it's super inconsistent, which
okay. Go out on a date. This is a girl that's sitting home thinking she's going to get her husband back. He's not coming back. He's gay. He's gone. Move on. Date somebody else. Get on the, I can't believe I'm saying it. Get on the Tinder.
is expected, but I don't.
Time is a ticking, and you ain't getting younger. And girls on Tinder are getting younger. So you need to get out there and start dating right now.
Want to post one day where I'm like having the best day ever. And then, then the next day I'm like crying on the internet.
And the next day you're 52. So go out right now and grab the first guy that will go out with you. That's not gay.
I just really haven't,
Well, maybe she turns guys gay.
Maybe she does.
known what to do or what
Maybe she doesn't have sex. And then they go, I need sex. And then they go out and they're
to talk
gay.
about, but I
don't think that's why people turn gay.
You don't know. You're not gay. You don't know.
do feel like it's something
It could be a bad, hoochieberg, and that turns you gay.
I want to share. I feel like I have nothing. I feel like I'm starting over.
Oh, go out and date. Shut up. Put some panties on. Go out. Or take some panties off. Go out, date somebody.
And I kind of just for myself want to post my story, my progress to see
Oh, you're doing great.
what happens.
You should have waited 5 days, not 5 months. 5 days after dude left, you should have been like, done. Going out on dating sites now.
What can happen with life, what, making something good out of it. So yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm in a good
I guarantee she doesn't do oral.
spot mentally.
Yeah, that's probably what he wanted.
I feel like I'm in a
He probably wanted somebody to do that, and she wouldn't do it.
Stable spot.
And he said, you know what? I'll find my friend Mike,
I've
and Mike will do it.
processed a lot of
And I'll move in with Mike.
things. I've communicated with my ex,
See, you're trying to get him back, aren't you?
up and down. And
Yeah, you're not giving up.
just feel like I'm at a good place to talk about like a whole range of issues. So what I think I'm going to do is make like a story or something like that and just go through and
Isn't this a story?
talk about the separate points. It's not going to be a story like a
This is a story.
cohesive, but as far as like my kids and my emotions and, starting a new relationship or just putting myself out there and just how I see life differently. There's just so many different things. So
go out on a date. Date somebody. He's not coming back. He's gay. He's gay. He left you. He's done. It's over. Move on with your life. Next.
Y'all not going to believe this, but I just got home for a lunch date.
Here's that old broad that always posts all the time, and she always goes out on bad dates, and she's like 50 or something. She's really old, and she has bad dates. So let's hear about this lunch date that she had.
Okay, so this guy, I had met him, I don't know, almost a year ago, and we went out on a couple of dates, and he was freshly divorced, and he and his ex-wife, they were constantly dealing with trying to sell a house, and he was always...
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's every guy's MA. That's every guy's story. Every guy out there has the same story.
Each time, we'd only gone out a couple of times, but each time we'd gone out, he was on the phone with her, or... like he'd be on the phone, hold on just a second,
yeah, he's divorced.
Out of his truck or head to the truck, and he'd hold on a second, and he'd well, I'm busy right now, and he'd get off the phone. Now he would tell her that I'm busy right now, and then he went through the trouble of telling me it was her on the phone. I told him, look, let's just be friends and whatever. Well, I run into him not too long ago, and I told y'all about it, and he asked me out. So we
because he wants to go out and get a little side piece.
Made arrangements to
an old side piece.
Meet after I got back from vacation.
He's really hard up.
Here I am. I'm back from vacation. We've gone to lunch.
Well, that's what happens when you get married. You get really hard up for just anybody.
I don't know if you ever get that hard up.
The entire lunch.
He was on the phone with his wife.
He was texting with her about something to do with someone else's dog. I don't know. I don't know if it's a cousin's dog.
Because he lives with her because he's married.
Her cousin, his cousin.
Why are these broads so stupid?
Now, she's moved way out of state, cross country.
Yeah, she has. She's in Alaska.
And he's still dependent on her.
Oh, what is wrong with these women? What?
Emotionally.
Why do you believe anything a guy says?
Yeah, I guess.
Guys lie.
And so during this lunch, I had said, he's telling me it's her. He probably should have, okay, I'll get back to you later.
Oh, why?
And got, rid of her.
And you think you're the only one he's doing this with. He's doing this with his wife and probably 6 other women. It's not only you. Other broads are falling for the same scam.
Even when you feel low,
So wake up. Come on. If he's talking to his wife on his phone while you're out on a date, 2 years later, he's still married. Texting with his wife, he's still married. What don't you understand? Why are you so stupid?
Hustle hard, hustle every single day.